Welcome back to Cape Town. It is a little over 100 years since our last episode, and the city has certainly grown. The population is now around 25,000, with the majority living within the city bowl. The suburbs are, however, starting to take shape, with sizable communities developing in places like Sea Point and along the southern suburbs train route to Simonstown. To the east, there are already communities growing in Parow, Belleville, Paarl and Stellenbosch. The original fort has been extensively rebuilt over the past decades and has been renamed the Castle of Good Hope. Each of the 5 points or bastions are named after the main title of William III of Orange. Leerdam to the west, Buren, Katzenelnbogen, Nassau and Oranje. Today you will still find many street names in the city with these names. The original Cape Town railway station was built in 1861. Following the discovery of diamonds in Kimberley, the station was quickly outgrown, and this new building was commissioned by the Cape Prime Minister, John Molteno. The old pier that served as Cape Town's original port was never going to handle the masses of shipping now calling at the Cape. A new port was constructed from the 1860s at what is now the V&A waterfront. The Alfred Basin was dug out first. The Victoria Basin would follow in the early 1900s. The original port captain's office was built in 1882 and still stands today, known as the Clock Tower Building. Up on Signal Hill, a tradition started in 1806, which still continues. At precisely noon each day, a Dutch cannon is fired, marking midday. It is known as the noonday gun. In 1850, the canal running down Herengracht Street was covered over and the main street named Adderley Street, after a British parliamentarian, Charles Adderley, who successfully fought against the plan to turn Cape Town into a penal colony. The original Cape Parliament was completed in 1884. Prior to this, Parliament convened in the governor's residence, called Tain Hayes. The Sea Point Railway opened in 1862 and ran until 1929 before being demolished. The Greenpoint Lighthouse was built in 1824. Its light was powered by sperm whale oil, and it is the oldest operational lighthouse in South Africa. Established in the 17th century, Groot Constantia is the oldest wine estate in South Africa and is still operating today. In Rosebank, a structure that was to become known as Mostert's Mill was built in 1796. It still stands today, having recently been restored following a fire. In 1820, the Royal Observatory commissioned the building of an observatory. A site was chosen 5 kilometers from the city centre and today lends its name to the suburb that surrounds it. The Groote Schuur estate, whose name translates to Big Barn, dates back to 1657 and in the future would be the site of a world-famous hospital that carried its name. The Salt River Train Workshop yards were established in 1862 to maintain the railway rolling stock. In the 1820s, the Mariendal Brewery was established. 130 years later, it would become the famous Newlands Brewery. As we approach the 20th century, there is no doubt that Cape Town is thriving. There would be some tough times ahead with the Boer War, followed by the Great War, but the city will endure. Join us next time when we explore the next chapter in the city's history. Please like and subscribe so you don't miss out.